I know I'm very late to this, that's why I'm deciding to post it on the second channel. I was away for the last 4 or 5 days in Toronto with a buddy of mine for Money in the Bank weekend. We went to SmackDown on Friday, Money in the Bank on Saturday, and NXT Heatwave on Sunday. It was a really good time, but I'm excited to get back on the grind and pump out some videos for you guys. And first up, we have to talk about a trade that took place between the Buffalo Sabres and Edmonton Oilers on Friday. This one was a real shocker. The Buffalo Sabres have acquired forward Ryan McLeod along with prospect Tyler Tullio, who was a 5th round selection by the Oilers back in 2020 in exchange for prospect Matt Savoie, who was the Buffalo Sabres' 9th overall pick from 2022. I want to make one thing clear right from the jump. I do not think Ryan McLeod is a bad player by any means. At 24 years old, McLeod is already a very serviceable number 3 center who has a strong defensive game, is very effective on the penalty kill, and is one of the fastest skaters in the entire NHL. I know at times Oilers fans would become very frustrated with Ryan McLeod's lack of finishing and lack of offensive production, especially in the Edmonton Oilers' most recent run to the Stanley Cup Finals, but this is a guy who's coming off of a season in which he put up career highs across the board offensively, 12 goals, 18 assists for 30 points in 81 games, and it's not like he was getting a ton of ice time either, or a bunch of opportunities on the parlay. With that all being said though, right now, I don't view Ryan McLeod as the kind of player who's going to be that much of a needle mover for Buffalo. You have to imagine the Sabres believe there's another level that he can get to, because usually these aren't the kind of players you go out and trade a top prospect for, and Matt Savoie was in the conversation for being the best prospect in the Buffalo Sabres system, along with guys like Konsta Helenius, who they just took in the first round of 2024, and somebody like Yuri Kulich. Like I previously mentioned, Matt Savoie was the Sabres' 9th overall selection from 2022, and I think you can make the argument that since being drafted, Matt Savoie has only improved his stock as a prospect. He scored over 2 points per game in the WHL this past season, turned pro to finish out the year and had 5 points in 6 games with the Rochester Americans in the AHL, and also got into 1 game with the Buffalo Sabres. Savoie is a player who's expected to be a real contender to make the Buffalo Sabres opening night lineup next season, so it definitely was a big surprise to see Buffalo move on from him so quickly before even getting an extended look at him playing professionally. The Buffalo Sabres are definitely sacrificing a lot of offensive upside by making this trade. Again, they are getting a guy in Ryan McLeod who's going to be able to contribute right away and who I believe is a really solid third-line center, but he definitely doesn't have the kind of ceiling that somebody like Matt Savoie has. I think it's going to be fascinating to follow these two players over the next few years and see how things play out. I don't want to jump to any conclusions because we still do have to see how things play out, but my initial thoughts on this trade are I really like it for the Edmonton Oilers. They clear some cap space. Ryan McLeod has a cap hit of $2.1 million, so that comes off the books, and I think with all the depth Edmonton added up front so far throughout the offseason, along with bringing back guys like Mark and Henry, it definitely made a guy like Ryan McLeod expendable, and obviously clearing up that bit of cap space isn't even the best part of this deal. You add a prospect in Matt Savoie, who I think comes in and is immediately the top prospect in the Edmonton Oilers system. In my opinion, a really nice bit of work here by the Edmonton Oilers, who have had a really strong offseason so far. So those are pretty much all of my thoughts on the McLeod Savoie trade that took place on Friday. As always, I want to know what you guys are thinking, especially if you're a fan of either the Buffalo Sabres or the Edmonton Oilers. Sound off down below in the comments. I want to know what you guys are thinking. And if this is your first time checking out the second channel and you want more content from me, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll talk to you all again soon.
Lions, the people of the city scurry.